Regarding the recording this time around, third time is a charm, right? Basically, making War Thunder video has been a non-stop excess of total disasters one after another. So let's hope this time it works. So first thing, part of the video, I'm gonna go through the menu and tell you what's everything in this game. Then I'm gonna talk about the good, mixed and negative stuff, as well as my own opinions. So strap right in and I hope you enjoy it. War Thunder is pretty much damn enormous. As you can see, at this moment is European Central European time and it's around 10 p.m. and you can see there's a hefty amount of players still, even with all the problems and the issues that the game has. And as you can see right now, we have options, controls, anything else. Controls, regarding controls, you're gonna have a ton of controls for aircraft, ground vehicles, naval, common, spectator camera, and everything else in between. As you can see, I haven't even placed some of the vehicle controls because I cannot phantom it anymore where to place them properly. And of course, as you can see, you have battles, custom battles, which you can do with your friends or try to use your tanks or your planes to test it out. You can do the single missions, as well as once upon a time you had also a dynamic campaign which you can do. But the trick is I rarely ever do these things, and of course those things are not popular very much, because it's popular around this area is air realistic, air arcade, ground arcade, and ground realistic battles, and it's sometimes of a simulator battles, and of course the naval arcade and naval realistic that nobody talks about ever. Of course, you have the PvP and PvE options. PvE options are these things over here, which can actually set you down to the earning some of the nice daily rewards, like these boosters and everything else in between, that can actually help you speed up the grind somehow. Yeah, somehow, because as we call these boosters, we call them bad luck boosters, because they tend to get you killed most of the times and your games to turn to shit, rather than having a good time around. And that's how it goes. So let's continue onwards. On the screen you have over here the stats, as you can see, basically your crew level for each vehicle or tank, basically what it is in it. They tell you what's it, what you need to grind to, and what you need to aspire to. They actually meant something sometimes for all of the aircrafts that you can see, and you can see how you can grind it out. And this is your reward, basically it's a gamer icon, or maybe even the skin of the aircraft, which can be added over here. And see the standard bicolor camouflage or something else, in between that you can actually use. Of course, in order to get it, as you can see, you need to unlock it first, or buy it, or do some kind of set of missions. That's what you need to do to get it. And of course, there's a customization skins, empty decal slots for the stuff that you like. And once, for example, if I grind something and I like something, I usually go with the, the nation, neutral countries, nation countries, and anything else in between the decals, or just set it up like this and say that I like a vehicle or I spaded it at least. And that's how it goes, basically. That's what I use most of the times. Definitely you can see sometimes that my aircraft have these flags, that means I spaded them, or I managed to have some fun in them. So yeah, basically sometimes that happens. You can have fun in the game, believe it or not. Now note, I have over 3000 hours in this game. I've been playing this game on and off for the last 12 years. Basically, sometimes I go on a grinding spree and just do the missions, do everything else, do battle passes and everything else between. Then I get a hiatus and I just don't play it anymore, basically for half a year or so. Then go it again for a month or two. And that's how I played this game mostly. The only time I played this game with a premium account was back last year, and I basically regretted it because I was trying to get to the Japanese tech tree line, and unfortunately I got through the very end, but the matchmaker and the brutalization of your spading process was pretty damn brutal, and I didn't want to go through it again, so I basically gave the chase for now. And also what's in it, basically, how do you actually grind? You can grind from even the lowest level vehicles. For example, I have this FU-8 Corsair that is being grinded, and I can even use these things to grind it out. They won't be very efficient, because if you want to be efficient, you need to be at least at the same level or at a level below it in order to grind the vehicle up and progress a bit faster to get it. Now the problem comes once you get it is you have a stock vehicle. you don't have anything, as you can see over here. And as you go forward throughout the tech tree, and you progress forward, and you get to the Fox 3 era with Phantoms, with FP-18s, Sukhois, and everything else in between, the weaponry is gonna be definitely impacting quite heavily, because people are gonna tend to buy stuff, as you can see right here, and they have a bunch of advantages over you. And good luck fighting them basically with the stock vehicle, because you're gonna be wasted every time around, because people like to play with something like let me just show you if I can find it. It's not here, but this is the SU-30 that they can get, or they can get it with the Chinese tech tree and get it right here. And this thing has, as you can see, a bunch of missiles. Good luck dodging them all. I mean, very good luck with the stock vehicle as well. Not to mention with the crew, because as you progress forward and onward and you kill enemies, you can gain weapon experience points that you can also invest into some stuff. Keen vision of energy tolerances and stamina. For example, these two are very much crucial for your fighter pilots, and what people tend to do is they tend to, master aerialistic battles and use those things to actually grind the rest of the things, like the logistics and anything else between, as well as your tank skills, which I proudly did with my tank crews in the USA tech tree line and the Japanese tech tree line, and this is how I get it. Basically use one of the slots, as you can see here, and do it fully down the line, and you can only see them now, unfortunately, once you equip it with these things. Of course, you have a lot of things to do with and research. You have army, which is going to be tanks. They're gonna add infantry next year, I think. You have helicopters as well, but in order to get helicopters, you need certain prerequisites to get it, Then you have aviation tech tree skills that I already mentioned, blue water fleet, which I unfortunately don't play, and coastal fleet, which I don't play, and those are mostly boats. And the trick is very simple. A lot of the naval stuff was not very good implemented regarding the promotion and everything else, and the balancing and stuff. So aviation and using the aviation tech tree lines and these things that are being called tanks, of course, are the main source of the gameplay and battle modes, and that's how you're gonna do and encounter most of your game through. Regarding the grind, you have a couple of options actually to choose from, and one of those are the Gaijin store, which is having 1-to-1 ratio regarding money and everything else. So one Gaijin coin is meaning that you have to pay $1 or €1, depending on your currency. And these things actually over here can be researched in two ways actually. First, you have to build a clan. After that, if you're in a clan, the research comes in and you gradually unlock it. As you can see, I haven't progressed very much with it, but one day I will actually, because the tigers in the Japanese tech tree are very fun planes and the rest are just shit, if you ask me. So yeah, basically I'm not liking a lot at all the rest of the Japanese tech tree line, because the radars are a piece of crap. Now, regarding everything else in between, you also have the premium stuff that you can get with money, of course, or throughout events. With money, of course, these things earn you quite a bit more experience points, quite a bit more Silver Lions, which is the main currency of the game, and this is the premium currency. Of course, you can convert experience, but only a full convert experience, because trying to get to tier 1 to rank 1 to rank 3 is going to take you around $150 just to get through it, and you can just save those $150 by taking something useful like premium account or a premium aircraft to low tiers, and try to actually learn the game and speed up the crews, of course, and improve them as well. As you can see, the trick is very simple with the crews. You can leave your aircraft to be repaired, as I did with Japanese tech tree, because I like to play something called braking. I play with the aircraft until it gets shut down, and after that I just leave it over here, or I place it into slots, which it can actually do the repairs over time. The trick is very simple. If your crew has enough of repair skill with the logistical services, like over here, you can definitely speed up the time that it's gonna take you for your aircraft to be repaired. And if you leave it lying on the garage slots, then it's gonna take a bit more time to repair, as well as a crew that isn't very skilled with repairing. And with this thing, actually, I just turn it off, and of course I save quite a lot of money, as you can see here. And even with the non-premium thing, and being a Joe average player, basically gives me a lot of time and effort to properly do stuff like grinding. And this is how I do my grinding mostly. Now let's continue onwards. Now regarding the events and everything else in between, you have the events like Scimitar Strike over here, which people are just doing, and I totally forgot about doing it, and I haven't even bothered, to be honest with you. So you can get a couple of times the special vehicles that are definitely here. There are a lot of events running, from Nuclear Thunder to everything else between. The Nuclear Thunder is going to be a new stuff that's going to be added in realistic things, and is going to bring some needed changes with the aircraft meta and everything else in between. I also have the battle passes and challenges that you can accomplish, and these challenges can actually get you some of the points which can actually get you throughout the battle pass. As you can see right here, you have the 83 days, but also challenges last quite a lot of time, and as you complete each challenge you purchase a medium task and then do that medium task if you want to. Of course, you can also buy stuff from challenges. The trick is very simple. You earn bonds as you continue down the task. As you can see right now, you have the bonds over here. You have for this level 400 bonds, and you can get them and gather them up as you progress onwards. And as you progress forward, of course, you're gonna get a lot of more bonds, and those things can actually get you into an option to buy some stuff. Those stuff that you can buy actually are in the shop over here with the points. As you can see, this thing costs 2500 points, but in order to get to this point, you need to complete challenges and get your ranking up to level 4. One note before I continue onwards and continue with negatives and positives, this thing was once a level 3. Yes, they increased it for level upwards. These things that you can see over here were actually level 5, and that's how it goes before. And now, because the Gaijin is a very greedy motherfucking company, and they actually increased upwards, that you need to suffer in order to have basically this thing as a second job in order to get those premiums for free, quote unquote, by playing this game non-stop and hoping that you can achieve something and have a decent time. And spoiler ahead, you won't be doing anything to your mental health if you continue that way. This is with most of the free-to-play games online, and I totally tell you to avoid having stress in your life. Now, among the bonuses and anything else, you can get something called wages. Those are things that you can see over here. Rookie golden battle wages. You can get in some of the golden stuff, and you have to play level 3 or 4 and even a level up. You don't play it in PvE, just PvP modes, and they're quite a lot of stressful, as you can see, and I haven't used any of them because I don't want to do it. And of course you can get into the item recycling with the golden eagles and everything else. I don't think this is very nice and smart to recycle those things, but maybe these things are definitely there, you know, and you can use them. Let me just show you, like doing 1 or 3, 2 to 1, so basically 2 of those, recycle those the items. Wingman wager, this is the silver lion wingman wager, and I can do them and get two of those, and this is what we got in return. Okay, item recycling tab, create items, and this is what you get, AAA order, and you can, you know, trade it in if you have something that's over excessive and you don't use it much and you don't find it useful. You just, you know, go and recycle it, basically, and see how much of things you can do. 2 of those, and these are in my inventory right now, and I can get 1 item, and as you can see right here, I got that, and I got 15 booster, which is very, very good. And you can use all those things to properly, you know, add them into the recycling bits. And as you go forward, basically, this is how it goes, and you add them over here, you add them here, and you do the recycling again, and this is what you can get in multiple occasions, as you can see. The only trick is very, very simple. Once you do the recycling, you have only 1 day to use them. This is the bugger. Missions cannot be lasting more than a day. As you can see, it can be activated within 2 days and 23 hours. If this thing expires till then, you lose your boosters and your wagers that you just recycled, and good luck with that. As you can see, also you can buy and sell these things on the market, which can sometimes lead you to some money, actual money, or exchange it for the, you know, bonds that you can use in the battle pass. So let's proceed onward. Now, when it comes to crew skills, I forgot something to tell you about. The crew skills are very, very interesting because you can get them, as you can see before, with the just simple grinding, and you get some 5 points, that's it. But you can also upgrade qualification, for example, over here, as you can see, and get 3+ on all on this crew slot over here. But if I want to progress onwards, I need to buy this thing with gold or real money, or just gain with this vehicle 2050 points on this slot in order to get it up to its maximum. And people are pissed about it because you have a lot of advantages once you get it. Not to mention that once upon a time in War Thunder, in the mode that's called the simulator battles, yeah, those people sometimes play simulator battles over here. You can also do the pay-to-win gunners that basically are you using a bomber that is pretty much beefy and hefty, and it's basically, if it's a premium, even better. Or use something like this, which can be actually... No, this one, sorry, this one, which can be actually very devastating, and before the enemy even can get to you, you can fill it full of holes by using AI gunners, just slight deviations with your stick, and that's it. And you go with the bombing and do anything else in between. And that's how people cheese the way to the game. Also, you had the situation with the competitive stuff. Competitive stuff like these events, tournaments gets over here, and you have an air battle over here that is going with the 1-to-1, basically. And 1-to-1, once you got into 1-to-1, you can just switch with the one mouse button the controls. The controls can be from the, you know, weaponry and everything else in between. They can be going down to, for example, simplified controls, realistic and full controls. You can do this in the fly, basically. And what happens, basically, you don't have the stuff that is going to be the arcade stuff. Those things gives you an aiming indicator or anything else in between, and your aircraft behaves like a UFO. What happens when you go into realistic mode, which is the tournament mode stuff, you can get into realistic mode and then you use those things. But the level of controls of your flaps and your ailerons are down to your autopilot as well, because it's assisting you not to go to flat spins and stuff like that. Because if you try to do your own manual stuff, you're gonna have a lot of trouble with just keeping your flight straight. But the fallback is the full rear controls, which give you a full flight control over the stick. You don't have any autopilot, but you can do a full turns, and your ailerons and everything else are going to 100% instead of 80 to 60% that realistic controls gives you. And those things are sometimes good in a pinch if you want to outturn an enemy and kill it that way. And unfortunately, because in the battles and the tournaments, the realistic controls are not fixed and non-changeable, you are gonna go and have some issues with the competitive side of the War Thunder, and people are fully laughing, making War Thunder a laughing stock because of that. So yeah, basically those are the stuff that you can need to pay attention to. What also seems to be broken sometimes, you can get some of these customization stuff for the gold decorations and stuff. Now you wonder what the heck I'm making all those fuss around. And let's just point you down to the camo nets, camouflage over here. Yeah, this thing is bought by money. Money. And realistic, you don't have any kind of the indicators like you have it in the air battles or the, you know, everything else. And you have like say a tank that is trolling with armor and you want to hide your spot that is being weak, and you do this and apply it, and that's how you go into battle, and the enemy sees you with this kind of leaves over it, or even making it a bit more bigger and heftier. And what you get, unfortunately, with all those 6 stuff covering your tank, is blending into the environment and just killing enemies while they cannot notice you. And of course, another thing in tank battles, especially realistic battles, people are abusing sometimes these things on the graphics mods, because as you can see, as you lower down the texture quality and everything else in between, the less stuff you can have into rendering options. And for example, let me just show you the grass range, the tree range. This is the tree range. If I lower the tree range, as you can see, the map becomes a bit more rarer. And the grass range, same stuff as you can see over here, and becomes easier to spot the enemy. Of course, this is easier for the older systems, because the older systems definitely now have an option and fighting chance to play this game, but also a lot of guys that are running modern systems that can actually run this game without any problems are lowering down the resolution settings and actually killing the enemies left and right that way. And that's like how they can see you and you cannot see them as well. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, I almost forgot one thing to tell you about. Those are the things that you can research. Basically, if you want to research the stuff with the tank, yeah, as I said before, you use a tank and then you progress, or a plane or ship or anything else between, you progress down the line. But as you can see, you are starting with a stock machine. Now, most people like myself are arguing that you should be having all of those things researched because the battle performances are quite significant in the game, and people that research those things are definitely still clubbing you left and right. You are defenses like in games like World Tanks, and this is pretty damn bad. Of course, you can sometimes get something like this and call an artillery strike if you want to, and gain some advantages and kill the enemies that way, because some soft enemies or the tanks like this one can be killed even with heavy machine gun fire from the top, or at least damaged and crippled heavily from the top. And not to mention about the volumetric armor that is in this game, because sometimes it's very much better than raw tanks. You can have the modules that you can hit, and if you know where to hit, you can also do one-shot kills. With the nation like Great Britain, you have a lot of solid slug weapons, basically without any filler, explosive filler. You can just penetrate and hope for the best that you can aim at the right spot and detonate the ammo storage that way. The trick is very simple. With the other nations, you just detonate the small explosive filler that's in them, and basically once you get there, the shell goes in, as you can see, and blows up stuff, and does a lot of damage that way. Those are the main issues that you have in the vehicle tech trees, and of course, it progresses onward. Not to mention that some people are... This is the crucial thing that you need to have. These two things at least are crucial, and then with the stock shells, you are gonna be at serious disadvantage with stock shells to play the game. With this simple ballistic cap shot, you're not gonna do anything very much. You need definitely this upgraded stuff if you want to have some fun or some chance of surviving and encountering the enemy. And this is gonna be painful, especially on high tiers. As you progress forward, you are gonna face a lot of interesting stuff that can actually hit you, and you have only a hit weapon, which is good against very much thinly armored targets. And you need this for the main battle tanks, which can chew you out. And so you're gonna suffer quite a lot on the heavier and upper limits with your tanks, not to mention with aircraft as well. If you go forward, for example, let me show you what you're gonna expect from the aircraft. This is my F2. I lost, out of 10, I lost 8 games, and I haven't even managed to score one proper fucking kill. I think only one kill with the machine guns though, believe it or not, with the cannons. And I cannot wait to get the other things, right? Because this thing is very much crucial, because it adds chaff that you need to dodge and help you dodge an enemy radar missile, which are pretty damn abundant in this area. Let's, for example, show you like this thing over here, which is fucking overpowered. And you need to counter this thing that is fully spaded than anything else once it bought with the stock machine. Look at this number of the missiles this shit carries. Not fucking normal though. I think I told about this again, and I should be telling you again. But also have in the armor menu, it's very simple. Protection analysis. I want to hit this guy with another K1S, and it shows me the penetration stuff. And I can definitely use the different fuses, different kind of weapons, vehicles, different kind of nations as well, and choose them, you know, how they behave against a certain part of the tank and what they can do, what they cannot do. Ordinary HE shell. And as you can see, even the machine gun as well, which can do nothing to them sometimes. Or the large cannons that can actually do some of the ordinary stuff, you know, like this. And this is how it goes. And you can now try to see what you can do against certain enemy tanks and learn the game that way, which is sometimes pretty damn useful. But of course, as I can see, let me just jump to the gameplay finally and show you what's up. Okay, when it comes to War Thunder, very good things. There are quite a few I can talk about. The thing that is very good is the game is still healthy despite all of the problems it gathered over years, and its behavior, you know, through the player base not very much friendly about. So the game is still healthy. You can play a lot of mods. The ships are though questionable, but everything else in between has player base in it, so you can actually feel it. Of course, there's something like simulator battles, which are a bit more, well, scarce and niche thing in this game, but realistic and arcade are definitely populated. Now it comes to the very good thing is, I haven't seen any game doing mouse aiming this good. Any vehicle game that I managed to play throughout the 90s and throughout the 2000s and everything else in between, I basically crave for the simplicity and ease of access that the mouse aim and keyboard combination is offering you in this genre. Basically, especially War Thunder nailed it perfectly, and it is a testament that the effort of the developers can go far away, regarding accessibility for the players, and those things should be added. Another positive is that this game rewards skill and knowledge. You have, in air realistic battles, especially with the propeller-based aircraft, you have, if you know how physics works, what they do, what you cannot do with a certain aircraft, what the enemy aircraft is good at or bad at, you can definitely exploit those things. And people that are tending to go to garage pretty fast and lose matches pretty fast are people who are not researching anything. They think this is Call of Duty, they think this is your standard Battlefield gameplay or GTA 5 or something like that, and they just YOLO in, get killed in instant matches, and then they uninstall. Of course, the knowledge goes very far in this game, and it's based on realistic stuff, but also has some issues regarding realism, of course, as any other game that should be doing it. And because I think definitely the balancing should be placed first rather than historical accuracy. So because you're playing a game in that combat simulator, but if you are doing a combat simulator and you have like illusion games, of course you're gonna go for the authenticity. Let's proceed onwards. Regarding what's also good in this game, actually there are diversification of vehicles from different branches and different kind of types you can use. You can use some attackers, aircraft, you can do bombers, you can do propellers to World War II, you can do jets, modern or ancient, you can do with the tanks, and they are constantly expanding and they're adding new stuff. Also, you can actually have a chance to get a premium vehicle for free, of course, if you are willing to play the game and you're willing to throw your life away if you're not very good. So keep that in mind. And a lot of events, sometimes you can see too many events going at once, so you're very hard to focus down a game, and it's a bit of a FOMO. So yeah, be aware of that. But there is a chance actually for you to get a certain vehicle that you want or that is available for you on a certain event. Now the next thing. First, I just touched the FOMO stuff, and the mixed thing is very simple. Some people are telling, as I said before, that you can get the vehicle that way, but the trick is very simple. You need to have a second job as playing War Thunder, which is not very healthy if you ask me. And definitely there comes the option to pay for the skipping of the grind, and fortunately Gaijin is baiting pretty damn hard, as well as World Tanks and other companies that are doing this kind of battle passes and events. They are baiting you into paying more than playing, and if you're playing, they're gonna make a hell of a lot harder for you to get for free, So better, make sure that your nerves are intact first and foremost, and if they're gonna go away, don't waste it on this game, please. So let's continue on with the mixed things. Now when it comes to the stuff that's also mixed is the recording system. Recording system unfortunately doesn't capture your primary viewpoint that you're having in the game. It is trying to mimic it and it's trying to present it, but also it has some issues with the stuff getting bouncy all of a sudden in certain game modes, and if the micro patch comes in, definitely it can sometimes break the recording that you have and that you stored. And for me, of course, I'm sometimes using this game and watching, listening to stuff from the podcasts and listening to audiobooks and recording at the same time the stuff that is sound behind. It's not very good stuff that goes on, so sometimes I'm just using recordings. And also when I'm using recordings, not recording in live gameplay like with shadow play, I'm now accepting and actually going with more casual approach, and sometimes that casual approach helps me down reflect a bit better in game and be a better player in game. Of course I'm a Joe average, but you can't say that's it. And of course, regarding, as I said, recording and everything else, it's very good when you want to make a cinematic. If you want to do say marketing video, or you want to do a montage video, the replay system definitely offers quite a lot of options, but with one caveat: it is buggy when it goes reverse and tries to reverse the action. That needs to be worked on basically, and it's still, I mean, after 12 years, the replay system is still work in progress. What can I say? Okay, now a little bit of the mixed stuff as well. Two things actually. People that are playing this game are for the historical battle matchmaker. Every time I got into historical battle matchmaker, which was a bit lower with the player base and player count as well, had some issues. First thing first, the teams were not balanced properly. The trick is very simple. As I said before, some aircraft in this game are pretty damn good, and they're actually a meta gameplay aircraft, and they absolutely destroy everything in front of them, especially if you're not approaching them carefully, and basically you are playing against them at a constant disadvantage. The trick is very simple. For example, if you're going with a Japanese aircraft and you are fighting Americans, if Americans try to dogfight you or turnfight you, you're gonna get them every time around with your aircraft that are fighters. And the bombers need to pre-fire quite a lot in order to get you, otherwise if they let you get very close, they can be very much destroyed easily with your cannon fire. But also, you know this with the situation with the Japanese propeller aircraft, they are pretty much a matching stick, and one shot that goes astray lights them on fire, and basically they die pretty fast. That's a trade-off, of course. So you have this issue that is a lot of fighters on one team and a lot of bombers on one team. Same time with Germans. Just this time around, I can actually link a video with it, which I made way long ago, which when I noticed the problem actually. And I need to emphasize that you need basically a proper balancing rather than historical matchmaker. You need a proper balancing, and of course, if you don't have proper balancing, you are killing game mode. And a lot of things that are bad are gonna be bad, and game mode is one of those that are actually suffering right now, especially in realistic mode, and as well, like I say, in tanks as well. Copy-paste vehicles are the mixed thing as well, because a lot of people are telling them that they're bad. Okay, let me just tell you some things. Some nations actually didn't have any kind of vehicles in the tech tree, since therefore T-34 and M4 Sherman can definitely fill the gaps in between. So fighting Sherman against Sherman is totally fine that occasion, especially if you don't have the markers, of course. The marker trick is basically what I think it's been added into realistic mode, so you can actually know what's yours, what is the enemy's. Probably if I'm wrong, but I haven't played realistic much. You know, the simulator much. Realistic I played a lot. The realistic mode definitely adds markers, and the arcade mode has markers as well as the aiming points. And now the trick is very simple. Why the people are making a fuss about this when the actual fuss should be made about making same vehicles that are prototypes and they are exclusively made for money, make them available as a tech tree vehicle as well. So people then actually can fill it up, the tech trees, and have unique vehicles, access to them actually. Not having, for example, a mediocre vehicle which is an IS-7, having it available only for 100 Gaijin coins or even more sometimes, which is more than 100 euros for a simple bloody tank. So, with this kind of overture, let me just tell it definitely this is the mixed stuff, and it's not very bad as people are presenting it. As I said before, there's some mixed things, there's some bad things, and we are going to bad things right now. The first bad thing is AI slop. Now, Gaijin has been caught using artificial intelligence to do some of the models and of the textures as well, and they forgot to remove the watermark. Basically what happens is AI bloody mixes already existing assets. It's not original, don't trust it. It's not there to make your life happier. It's there to make your information available and to gather it and aggregate it. This is the part of the AI. And therefore the artificial part and the art, quote unquote, can be used as a placeholder if you are developing something. I can definitely agree with that. But then you need to fully replace it with actual player-made or people-made models and things that are in it. Exemption number one for me personally, I'm doing a book, and if AI even gets a hold of it, even in editing mode, I can say goodbye to it because it's gonna basically steal it and use it on somebody else's work. And therefore, I'm gonna be stuck with a 4-year work that is now being all for nothing. And guess what? I'm not gonna do that shit. So though you don't have to do it as well. AI, usage of AI and promoting it's pretty damn bad. I know if the game studio doesn't have money at the moment because, you know, it's a fucking crisis going on around the world at the moment, and I fully realize that, but please, you are a company. A very big company, very powerful company. Don't do that, Gaijin. It's not very nice at all for you to do that. And people are rightly furious with you doing just that. Let's continue onwards. Another pretty much bad thing they had with the AI, I just say, once upon a time when you had played air realistic battles and the enemy lands in order to repair and rearm at its airfield and it's using the cover of the AAA, you basically had two options. You can dogfight or go low and slow over the airfield, gets shot down. And the other thing is fast and low with just one pass and then bail out. And in that cases, the AI couldn't track you fast enough. Now, the AI tracks you so fast that even Skynet, even artificial intelligence OpenAI blushes when it sees how deadly Gaijin AI accuracy is on its airfield. And I think you can use it and maybe even add it to NATO bases around the world. Basically, they're gonna shut down everybody approaching a Shahid and everything else with the minimum amount of ammo needed. Because they are so fucking terrifying. And even super jets, only the very top tier, have some chances of destroying this combat, you know, the AAA defenses and then establish combat zones over them. Essentially, that's how bad this shit is. Not to mention a lot of them not rendered or even sometimes even not spotted on time. So, yo, those things are pretty damn bad if you ask me. So they promote a lot of camping, they promote a lot of problematic behavior, and they are not at all, definitely not at all a solution to griefing and everything else in between, you know. So you need to work on that at least. You need to lower them as they were back in 2014. Yes, like they were 12 years ago, because back then they were at least bloody balanced at least. The stock syndrome. The stock syndrome is so fucking hard in this game, it's actually painful. It's actually in the level as World of Tanks and wargaming products as well. So basically stock stuff over here, shells, ships, planes, tanks, and tomorrow your infantry weapon as well. It's gonna be so devastating, it's gonna be a hell of a game to actually play and match. At the moment I'm trying, as I said before, to do my Mitsubishi FA2 Superjet, the jet, not the Superjet, but the jet that is on the top tech tree, the Japanese tech tree, and I'm trying to spade it and I'm getting slammed by Sukhois non-fucking stop. I cannot even lock a single aircraft without, and because I don't have chaff at the moment even, I cannot even dodge the missile properly. I cannot do my job, and I can't do anything. It's bloody impossible to have a decent game, by the way, because it's just not even playable at the top tiers. This thing actually also happens, as I said before, with tanks. People with tanks are actually having same kind of mental breakdown at the moment, because Gaijin at the moment is unofficially telling you pay up. We are pay to win. That's what Gaijin says. And being a pay to win, it's a fucking disaster for this game, because the game, as I said before in positives, rewards skill, and when you negate the skill by adding technological gaps and developmental gaps, you are fucking one hell of a lot of your audience. Basically, you're inviting a fucking doorstep. That's how bad it is. This is how mentally out of touch you are with the player base. This is how Gaijin actually doesn't give a fuck until some as well. At the moment there is a controversy that just came up. You know, Gaijin added actually something that's called maneuver kill. I forgot to mention that, but maneuver kill is very simple. I do a maneuvering and you are very close to me, and basically you crash your aircraft. I get the kill because I done a maneuver kill. You managed to make a mistake and I got some kind of the reward that way. Now, once I destroy your air wing and I destroy your aircraft wing, and you fall down, I don't get the full reward. I do the same as I did my overkill. Instead of getting a full reward because I shot down your fucking wing. I killed your pilot basically and you're going down. Even if you go grey out and on icon on realistic battles and even air arcade battles, you are going down and I'm not getting a full reward for destroying the aircraft because Gaijin managed to do a fuckery over there and basically nerfed the grinding process for everybody again. So the only way I can properly make sure that I get full reward is by blowing you up with a missile or making sure that I blow up with a cannon or, you know, get a pilot snipe of you. Which is pretty damn shitty. Pretty damn bloody fucking shitty. And it's not very nice. It's pissing a lot of people off. Well done on pissing people off, Gaijin. I think you're going on a very, very good occasion. Speaking of the arrangement, basically the number of grind in this game, even with premium account, with premium things, vehicles and stuff like that, with premium options and it activated, it's a fucking deranged. Nobody normal would be saying this is fine, this is alright. So basically, as expect, somebody is shilling pretty fucking hard for the development team because the amount of time that I needed, for fuck's sake, to get to the top tier is pretty damn awesome. Almost 12 years playing on and off. And now I just managed to get to the Japanese tech tree top tier. And I don't have any incline to actually play the game professionally or dedicate myself, because I just noticed 2 things or 3 things that are actually constantly fucking you over, and I don't want to waste my life over playing a broken game or even giving it money. I already gave it money, 20 euros for a premium account, half a year, and those 20 euros are the saddest things I ever managed to give to somebody, because those 20 euros could be going for Cyberpunk, for example. Those 20 euros could be going for expansion pack for MechWarrior 5. Those things actually can go with 20 euros up. Or as I just said, I managed to basically set up and get No Man's Sky. Yeah, basically I regretted every purchase, and that's the only one purchase I ever had in this game. And unfortunately, I'm not liking where Gaijin is thinking. I hope they change their mind and they do the justice regarding the grind, but I don't trust their greedy asses at all. When going after the grind, let me just tell you about the crew slots. Basically the crew impact is pretty damn hard, as well as the module damage is hard, and crew that is fully speeded can give you a lot of advantages if 2 players of equal skill are facing each other. Basically, in air realistic combat, your aircraft crew can actually lead you to going back to sleep. And actually, if you go back to sleep, you cannot maneuver aircraft properly and you lose the match, you lose the battle, basically. And those things can be critical, and if the guy is, as I said, shown you before, is shilling out and buying his crew skills, getting at least 5 additional points that way, he can definitely have a lot of advantages over you. And guess what? You're gonna go into game over screen pretty damn fast, and that's pretty bad. So yes, basically, other than just buying modules, you can buy crew skills and basically get the pay to win that way. On top of that, some of the planes that are premium, as I said before, the SU-30, are basically a pay to win meta, because they can be fully upgraded with your money at the very start of the game as you're going out of the box, and if you are any decent player, you can dominate the lobby. Yes, you can actually, it's so broken that even Game Marino, which is a very good player in top tier jets, in realistic battles, is saying that this thing is broken. Basically, it's so easy to get kills in it. So basically, it's so easy to devastate an enemy lobby if you have at least 4 of guys, because you can team up in 4 member teammates, and you go into SU-30s. Guess what, baby? You are dominating the player base. If you have any kind of skill in your hands. And this is so shit. So yeah, basically the same stuff happens in the tanks as well. Basically the reload time, the accuracy time, the spotting time, the reaction time and everything else, and not to mention the shells and their quality, are definitely affecting the gameplay very, very hard. as well as the amount of weapons that you have, especially on the top tiers. And as I said before, the compression of both team tanks, ships and planes is there. That compression means that the machines that shouldn't be facing you are facing you, and when you are on the bottom of the tech tree, basically it's 1.3 in arcade and 1.0 in a realistic, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. But basically over there, when that thing happens, you are feeling the pain if you are bottom tier, and as I said before, if you are stuck as well, you don't have any kind of grinding, then the compression definitely feels a bit heavy. The only way to alleviate compression is to remove actually the whole stock grind and just have an aircraft that's spaded at the once, and extra amount of experience points just transfer to another aircraft. And that way you can actually grind or try to grind something that can be effective somehow if you are skillful, and that way you reward skill. However, this time around you are just rewarding who has a bigger fucking wallet, nothing else. Another thing that I almost forgot, but is very negative, is when you have tournaments or anything else, please, for the love of God, keep the control systems shut for only one option. For example, realistic control options for just realistic, because people that are having full setup with the hot ass hands on throttle or stick and have a good pre-bind on some of the extra stuff around the house, they can definitely dominate the one-on-one matches inside of your events. And they can actually, if I'm using only realistic controls, the guy next to me can just press a button and go into full simulator controls, giving himself full control over his aircraft. And of course, if he has joystick, you know, the flight stick and everything else in between, he can dominate. And that's it. So basically, having a competitive or tournament-like era of one-on-ones is just fucking ridiculous, and people are making this thing a laughing stock out of it for a very good reason. So yeah, to sound off, basically, should I recommend to a newbie this game? No. The game is very good. I mean, you can actually, with reserve aircraft, even grind the top tier jets if you want to, but it's gonna take some time. But of course, the crew grind, even if the crew grind is getting the same amount of points, whether you are flying a biplane or a MiG-29 or something like that, you know, basically every kill counts, and you are developing crew skills. It's gonna fortunately take quite a lot of time to actually develop and, you know, grind out the crew skills, because that time is gonna be way more efficient in your real life than in the video games. And definitely there I say just the crew tanks, be careful. I'm not recommending this to anybody, believe it or not, because unless you really want to play this genre, really want to have some impact on the game rather than just RNG like in crew tanks, you are gonna like it, but you're gonna suffer through it. So I don't recommend it, but if you are really into this kind of genre, then okay, play it. But for me, it's gonna be the negative opinion on Steam, because I'm having a lot of issues. I'm having a lot of problems in this game, which the Gaijin doesn't want to actually address. And for that, I'm gonna, you know, vote with my wallet first and foremost, and then also give the negative. So that's how I'm gonna roll. And to outro right now, basically, I had some problems. This is my third recording, full true recording. First thing was missing some things, 22 minutes, then this is gonna be around a 50-minute video recording, and I finally wish to get it fucking done. After that, I need to edit up Warhammer Total War videos, which I'm gathering at the moment as we speak, and I had to pause that to do a proper re-recording of War Thunder because I screwed it up first time around. And this time around I think I got everything right. Most of things right, at least. So yeah, basically after Total War Warhammer, I'm now needing to continue GTA 5 because cousins are telling me this is a very good game, and the nephews as well. So yeah, let's try to get GTA 5, and though I was playing open world games way back in the River 1 era and Skyrim and Oblivion original and, you know, things like that. Way back in the day. Yeah, I'm getting old. Anyway. What can I say? This is my opinion of War Thunder today. Tomorrow is going to be something else, as a notifying you. Hopefully it will go without any hiccups this time around, and hope I see you all again soon. Till then, stay safe. I'll catch you guys. Bye bye.